Before we delve into like training and like your career, before you got into all this stuff, who were you before all this?
Oh, good question. Immigrant parents, right? So it's like...
what's your background?
My dad's Persian, my mom's Filipino.
Yes.
But both of them are mixed. So, but yeah, dad left Iran after the revolution, so he couldn't go back because the country was very different to it. So dad's a dentist, so he had to decide on where he wanted to go. The options for them were Switzerland. He didn't want to move there because he already spoke a lot of languages. He's like, I've got to learn another one. And then Canada was another option, and then Australia. And then he decided Australia because there was an engineer that died in a plane crash when he was a kid somewhere in Australia. And he'd look on the map and he's like, whoa, where is this place? You know? So he had the opportunity to go somewhere, and like, I guess like a little bit like, how do you say? He's very much a risk taker, my dad. Very opposite to me. He's very much a risk taker. So he's like, yeah, let's just go. And I wasn't born yet. Like, so mum came here heavily pregnant, and then I was born shortly after. But because they came here under those situations, like very poor, like, you know, like, but that was okay for dad because he was very poor growing, so he didn't care. But
I guess like a lot of immigrants, my parents came from overseas as well, had nothing to their name, and my dad was working 3 or 4 jobs at the time to make a living.
I think that's where I learned work ethic from, really just watching like my dad kind of like just grind every day, even now still at it. Still does it. Like I don't know why.
Yeah, well, my dad's the same. He doesn't have to, but he still gets up every single day and goes to work.
Yeah, crazy. But yeah, that was like, so very poor initially, and then relatively well off. Like my earliest memories is like very poor.
Yeah.
And then I remember my sister was born when I was around 4, and then that's when things started to change, and then you know, a bit more well off over time. So yeah, and then we're living in Eastern Suburb, and I could feel like the difference, like, you know, like the wealthier kids and me. And also like very Anglo environment too. So I was like the only brown kid, and so I always felt like, you know, like I didn't fit in, you know. But I was okay with that. I was always okay with not fitting in. So I was always the kid that didn't fit in. So like I was pretty good at sport. I was pretty good at school. I liked music, so I was like the band geek, and like I'd play flute in the first row of the concert band, which is like, if you want to get bullied, like, be there, right? So thankfully I had all the other stuff that prevented me from all those things. I liked art like a lot. Like that's probably why I like dentistry so much.
Well, it is a bit of an art, isn't it?
Yeah, because like especially like visual arts, like the particularly like pottery and like abstract painting and stuff. Because and then dentistry is a lot like sculpture. You know, like you're just rebuilding. I say I'm just painting triangles all day long. That's all I'm doing. You know, like cuss tips and stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, that and then I also had like a lot of learning difficulties. I didn't know back then because we didn't really test for things back then. Like I have pretty bad dyslexia, but it wasn't really ever picked up because I was good at school. You know,
it was kind of missed.
It was missed, but I was struggling. Like, and all the signs were there. I was the last person in my class to learn how to read. I would constantly be asked to get my eyes checked, even though I had perfect vision. And they're like, no, he's perfect vision. And I was like, I was doing things all wrong, like all the time. And then I had a teacher that said to me, you do things differently to other kids. If you just do that, and at the end of the day, if you come up with like a result that's like the other kids, then just do that. And it's like the first time I had to learn that I had to take my own learning as my own responsibility. And from that point on, I went from like being the worst in the class to never not being the best.
That teacher made a real impact then.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I always say, like, you just have to, if someone gives you the permission to be you.
You just need that one person.
Yeah, and also like obviously like coming from like a very hardworking family, like very well educated, like the expectation was really high, and I was like always down here. I was like, but I liked, like I always say, I struggled to read, but I like what's in books. So even though it's hard, even now when I read a children's book to my kids, my wife will laugh at me because I'll just read things that aren't there, and and the kids will correct me even. Like it's almost even embarrassing at times, but I like the information in books, and particularly science. Like I like what's there, so I will sit, even if it takes me longer. I'll put in the time, and so.
It's interesting. The last person I spoke to, she is a child and adolescent psychologist, and we were chatting about how back in the day there wasn't much awareness when it came to things like ADHD and autism, and we didn't touch on dyslexia, but similar sort of concept. And nowadays there's more and more awareness of it, and people. Yeah,
but I worry about that a little bit too, because I think if I was labelled that as a kid, I probably would have used it as an excuse.
I asked her this question. I said to her, is there a problem in labelling these things? And she said there isn't if it's done appropriately. So if the child she'd much rather a child say to her, I've got autism and this is what we're doing as a family to try and help improve my symptoms, as opposed to a child saying, I don't know why I can't concentrate, and I feel like I'm being left out because of it.
Yeah, I think as well, I think I was lucky because my parents, like their education system was very different from where they were. So
it's a lot tougher over there, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just learned like I learned mathematics from my father. Like he would sit down and I could learn from him in like 2 hours what entire year of school was at school, and I was like, okay, just do that, and then learn stuff from mom, and it's like I was pretty lucky that I had that support, even though the expectation was really high. At least they would spend the time to do that. So
I can resonate a lot with you. I didn't really I've only chatted to you a few times before, but after you're saying this, I can resonate a lot. I think my upbringing was quite similar. Expectations super high. Coming culturally, it can be very difficult because you're expected to just achieve so much, and there's a lot of comparison sometimes that's been done as well.
Yeah.
How much of an influence did your dad have on you becoming a dentist?
I was kind of, I would say, a bit rebellious. Like, as a kid, if you asked me what I was going to be, it was told to me that I'd be a dentist.
Yes.
Right? So, obviously, I worked really hard to try and achieve that, mainly for him. It wasn't for me. And then, and then once and there was always it was almost like a reward basis. If you achieve this, you'll get this. Because then he had the financial capacity, but no time.
Yes.
So he would reward me like that. And it was not a good way of doing things. Once I got into dental school, I realized I hated it.
Oh, really?
I hated it because I was stuck with people I didn't resonate with, and it was just basic science. It's doesn't really matter what science field you're in. That first year is kind of
always general. Yeah.
It's pretty the same. And I was just bored. And then I saw what the veterinary kids were doing. And then because I grew up for a time period on an acreage with a hobby farm, and we always had ducks, chickens, sheep, and I was always with the animals. We had tons of dogs. I always loved animals, and it was I got to see what those guys were doing. So I switched into vet school and I loved it.
Yeah, right.
Because there was a time in the classroom, but then very practical. You went out. Actually, in the first week, they put a scalpel in your hand and said we're gonna dissect this, and it was pretty gory.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it because I got to peel back all the layers and see. Especially because I'm into sport and stuff, I got to see that muscle does that and this.
Yeah.
And I was and they let me do it with my own knife. I was so I really enjoyed that and how practical plus academic it was at the same time.
Yeah.
And then I used to ride a lot of horses when I was a kid too, and wanted to be a jockey at one stage, but worked out I was too big, too tall. Big for that. Too big, too tall, pretty quickly. And then so I wanted to be a racehorse vet, and then I put everything into that. Then then got into veterinary dentistry from the racehorses, and then finally, my dad was very disappointed in me when I
was going to ask, what did he think?
He was super disappointed when I changed to vet school, because he's he couldn't understand it. But then I I switched into, once I called him, like, I remember I was at the dinner table one time and I was just kind of staring off into space, and my wife's like, what's going on? And I was like, is this it now? Like, I'd already, like, in veterinary dentistry, I was already traveling and like, you know, not cats and dogs now, it's like tigers, lions, polar bears,
wow.
you know, like sea lions, like doing all the stuff, like
Far
red pandas, like it was really fun. But I'm like, is this it? Is this the ceiling now? Like, is this what? And I was still pretty young, so I was just like, I think I got to go back to uni again. And then I said to my wife, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So then I called my dad. My dad laughed. He laughed and he said, I told you. He was like, why don't you just listen to me right from the start? And I was like, no, but like, this time I'm doing it for me, not for before I was doing it for you.
That's the difference.
Yeah. Plus, I have to pay for it now.
Yeah.
Right. And I know how much it's going to cost me. So then, like, that second time through university, like, you know, first time you enjoy it, but you have to have a job as a kid, right? You have to have a place, contribution to society, right? Yeah. But the second time, because I really wanted to be there, like, I really put effort in. Like, you know,
it was a different experience.
Yeah, I worked out how much it was costing me per day to be there.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I even miss one day, that's so much money. So much money. And I'm like, you can't waste this. You know?
You don't think of that when you're younger. Like,
no. And then, yeah, so like maximum effort, but not from like, because I really wanted to, you know, and I think it, like, I even like realized that I was into things that I wouldn't even realize. Found that I was into material science and like all this like nerdy stuff that I didn't realize I was into. And
but was that not a bit of a risk though? You going back to uni, or you didn't view it as a risk?
Yeah. I had a whole house with no mortgage on it anymore, nice cars, everything. I'd sell everything to pay for it. You know, like, arguably I'm worse off now because I did that.
Yeah.
Even though like income is significantly more, I was like on the back foot because of that. If I just rode that train, probably financially better off now because of like, you know, time, asset accumulation.
Yeah.
But quality of life would have been much poorer, you know. So,
yeah. And you can't buy that. You can't put a price to that.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I understand now you've got a family, you've got a wife and kids. How many kids?
3 kids.
Yeah, 3 kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Two of them were, because I did my dental school in Ireland.
Oh, you went overseas in that?
Yeah, Trinity College, which is like, it looks like Hogwarts. I was like, I had the option to go anywhere, right? I had the option to go anywhere. I was like, I want to go there. It looks like Hogwarts. They're a pretty famous university. I wanted to go there. But then 2 of my kids were born in Ireland. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
That would have been an experience in itself.
Yeah, especially like the tail end of being a student as well. It's like having kids, it's like, it's not easy.
So somebody that looks at you now from the outside, you've achieved a lot already. So you've gone into veterinary dentistry, and now you're a dentist that treats humans, I guess. You're also an IFBB Pro.
Yeah.
How did that get thrown into the mix?
Yeah, that was by accident, to be honest.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, because remember I said like I was really into music and art and stuff, and I was into a lot of sport. But when I knew I had to dedicate time to being academic, I had to kind of drop off all of that stuff because I needed time.
Yeah.
And because I wasn't a good student, I had to allocate that time to being a good student. So because I was slower, you know, dyslexia, and I had challenges. So no word of a lie, I would study 6 hours a day every day, 10 hours a day on the weekend, right?
Far out.
But are you going to sit in your room for that much time? Like, you got to do something, right?
That's right. Yep.
So Dad suggested for me to go to the gym. I'm like, what's that? You know, and he took me to the gym first.
So your dad suggested it?
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know what to do. I can't sit in this room. Like, I was just like, I have to do something. I went from like spending like almost all of my time doing other stuff. Now I'm just like in my room, like, you know. So I went to the gym, and turns out like that can be a little bit academic too, like, you know, like learning about nutrition and exercise physiology, and like I kind of like that. And then because I took that angle of it, like I progressed really quickly. I went from 57 kilos at my height, which is very skinny kid.
You were 57 kilos?
Yeah, to 82 in 1 year, in a single year, and with abs like shredded.
Wow.
And I was like, I think I'm pretty good at this. So I just kept doing it, you know. And then eventually, one of my friends, it's actually like when I first met my wife too. I was like, I was in the second year of my vet school, and then I said, one of my friends at the gym said, "Oh, you're getting pretty good now. You should do a contest." And then I was like, "I don't know what to do." And he's like, "Oh, like we'll go see. I'm gonna prep for this competition. If you want to prep with me, we'll go. I'll introduce you to a coach." And then, and then it's John Davies. He was my first coach. World Gym?
Yes.
He's the guy that brought World Gym to Australia.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, he's IFBB Pro that went to Olympia stage, one of the rare few Australians at the time.
Yeah.
That went to Olympia. And for him to agree to coach you was very
big deal.
It's like he believes if he does that, he believes you can win. So I was like, okay, he thinks that there's something here. So I did that prep, won my first competition. And I was like, okay, I'm pretty good at this. However, at that time, a bodybuilding competition was very different, right? It was men's bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding, and women's figure.
And that's it.
That's it. And the competition was that. So they were massive guys. And at the time, Ronnie Coleman was Mr. Olympia. I met him in real life, and I saw how big he was.
Yeah.
And despite me winning nationals, I was 86 kilos at the time on stage. And I was like, for me at my height, Ronnie Coleman's similar height to me. He's like 300 pounds, and I'm like, it's not doable.
Yeah.
And also understanding the chemical warfare that's required to do so, and even just like food. Requirement of nutrition was I was watching him eat.
What's a full-time job?
I was watching him eat backstage, and I was like, I can't do that. So I just said no, I tried for a bit, and I got reasonably big, and I was like, this isn't for me. This isn't so then I kind of lost interest a little bit, but I still trained and ate and stuff. Still did the thing because that was my antidote to the study, and I was still doing all that. Then Men's Physique came out with the board shorts. Baggy board shorts, and I was like, what's this? There was
I remember that,
Mark Anthony, and funnily enough, Ryan Terry was there back then, the current Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is silly. What? I was just like, do they even train legs?
But it was out of place back then, it was something new, so it did appear like that.
Yeah, and even they were small, and they weren't very shredded, and I was like, whatever. So I kind of tossed that in the bin.
Yeah.
Then a couple of years later, Classic Physique came out, and I love training legs, and I was like, oh, maybe this is, and they're smaller. And there was a weight cap, so height and weight. And I was like, okay, look, this is more my thing. So I did a competition, and I'm a really competitive person.
I can tell already.
And I came third.
Okay.
I could not.
Which is still great.
No.
But for you,
no.
in your standards,
I could not handle it.
Yeah. I
was like, third? I've never come third in anything in my life.
Yeah.
I'm like, third? What's this? And I'm like, so the Arnold Classic the state show was that I came third, and then the Arnold Classic was the 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
I said to my coach, maybe I'll give this Men's Physique thing a go. And I didn't know what to do, didn't know how to pose, didn't know how to do anything. I just kind of turned up as a bodybuilder to put on some shorts. And then I won my class and went to the overall, and I was like, oh, wow. Maybe I did this prep all wrong. I was really out of shape. It was my third child was born at the time, and I was really out of shape, and that prep was very difficult. Very poor preparation going in, in terms of the starting point.
Yeah.
The preparation was flawless, but the starting point was suboptimal.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what direction I was going in that. So I ended up, winning my class at Arnold Classic and almost turning pro in my first competition in Men's Physique. And I was like, but at that time I was like, Men's Physique, what's this? All right. So I didn't my goal was to be a Classic Physique pro.
Yeah.
But when I saw a pro card as an option, I was like, okay, maybe I can, if I do everything right, really put time and effort and train as if, right? That maybe it's possible. So I did the next competition, came third again.
And that pissed you off again.
Right? But I went to the overall again in men's physique and then lost the pro card. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, you know, this is kind of a message now. And then got a new coach as well, and he said, like, you know, you need to reevaluate what you're doing, because you're trying to train like a classic guy, but he's like, but the results are saying, you know, you're a men's physique guy. He goes, can you just like, he even said, can I swear? He's like, can you just cut this shit out?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you're not classic, right? You're not a classic guy. You're a men's physique guy. Can we just do that? And then we did that, and we did that prep, and he said, like, I can't guarantee you a pro card, but I'm going to do my best to get you one. And then I'm like, okay, like, you know, if you have enough faith in that and you want to put that plan together, and I was like, yeah, I'll run with that. And then turned pro, and then, it was, so being a professional bodybuilder wasn't something I intended for my life, but when I saw I was capable of it, that's when I decided.
When you pursued it a little bit further.
Yeah, and then the whole time of doing that, I was like, okay, let's get a pro card. It validates all my time in the gym. I started training at 15. I'm pretty old now. Like I'm 41 now. But that will be enough. I think that as my bodybuilding career, that would be enough. I'll get a pro card and I'll just, you know, just ride on that, you know. But then I was like, oh, hang on, like, let's see what happens. I'll just do one pro show and see, like, if I'm any good, like, stacked up to other pros. And then I came third in my first pro show, and I was like, oh, well, maybe I'm okay with this too. And then I was like, if you win a pro show, back then it's changed this, the rules changed this year, but if you win a pro show, then that's straight to Olympia. And I was like, and I beat, this was just after Olympia, and I beat a few guys that just came off the Olympia stage. So So I'm like, if I can beat guys that have already been to Olympia, then maybe, like, it's not a dream anymore. Like, you know, when you're a kid, you see the Mr. Olympia, and like, you're like, this is achievable. This is achievable now. Yeah.
While all that was going on, you were still working on it.
Well, always.
Always. How were you juggling all that?
It's my antidote to everything. Because I think I made a mistake early on when I did a prep, and just before the competition, I took 2 weeks off work. And that was a disaster mentally for me. Mentally, very, very difficult, because once you've trained, once you've done cardio, practice a bit of posing.
What do you do?
When there's nothing, like, and then you're starving.
You're
starving at this point. This is controlled starvation, right? To be like an unhealthy level of lean, like, your body is screaming at you 24 hours a day. You need to eat. It can get so bad for some people that they cannot sleep, because your body's constantly waking you up to eat. Like, it's like, get up and eat. Like, why are you sleeping? You're gonna die. It's like you should be hunting and foraging. You're like, why are you taking this time to sleep? You know.
And then when you're sitting around not working, that makes it worse, I imagine.
So I really learned at that point that being busy is the best way to approach a prep. To be social is the best way to approach a prep. The less time you focus on yourself, less time you focus on the task, on the goal. If you just focus on the process, right? If you just do the process every single day, the goal will come. You'll achieve at the end point. You know, whether I liken it to this, I always say you said you're going to climb Mount Everest, right? And then you put up the plan and you do all the logistics, blah blah blah, and then I say, okay, I'll come, and I just follow each step that you do, right? With no intention of where I'm going. I just follow each step. Everything you do, I just do it. Right? You get to Mount Everest. What happens? So do I. I didn't intend on going there, because I wasn't. The idea wasn't to climb Mount Everest. Mine was just the process.
So you follow the process.
Each step you took, I take that step too. Every time had something to eat, I did that too. Every time you set up your tent at night, I did that too. Like, and eventually you went to Mount Everest, so did I.
Yep.
You know, but
And we both climbed it.
yeah. So it taught me that the goal is kind of irrelevant, and even it was put to me like I remember listening to someone say in the Olympics, everyone has the same goal, right? To win a gold medal,
Yep.
right? But there can only be one gold medal, right? But everyone, that's their goal. Who gets the gold medal is not who has the greatest goal. It's who has the best systems, right? How did you train? How did you recover? That's who wins, right? Everyone, the goal, like everyone can have a goal. The goal is meaningless.
It's a good direction. You have to, I think, have some sort of goal to work towards. But
For
then,
sure.
more importantly, like you said, I think the process is very important.
Yeah, and then also you can take pleasure in the process. If you can't take pleasure in the process, it's a waste.
It's not going to work.
Yeah, because what happens if you don't get the goal?
Yeah.
And sports is the worst because you may never get there.
Yeah.
You have a goal, you may never reach it, right? But even in my work, I don't have my qualifications hanging on the wall. I don't have any of that stuff. You know what I have on the wall in my clinic is my pro card.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that was the only thing that I put work into that was not guaranteed.
Ah.
Right? If I went to university and I studied, I sat the exams, passed the exam,
You knew that was guaranteed.
Yeah, I'm going to get it.
I like that.
Whereas like you can put in all the work and never get it. So like that's my greatest qualification.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what hangs in my clinic.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that one. Like none of the multiple degrees that I have, nothing. Like it's all gone.
To get to that point, though, there would have been a lot of sacrifice.
No.
No?
No, not for me.
No?
Because again, process based, right? You know, I just do the things that I want to do. However, the sacrifice is probably the people around me.
Yes.
That's the sacrifice.
How
And I'm
so?
very thankful for that because like my wife, she knows if I have a goal, I want to do something, you know, I have to do it. So like the sacrifice comes from her. Sometimes the kids, because I'm like, there's times where I have to be locked in. I can't be the fun dad, you know, 24/7. I have limited energy reserve. I do my best. I see everything as output. So I hate cardio.
Yeah.
So like being active is more important to me. So, and then my job is sitting down all day. So I don't have a lot of output, like, you know, so I consider like playing with the kids or doing chores.
It's all a form of cardio and output.
Yeah, it's output. So I use the social and all that stuff as output. And that's like, even if I don't want to do it, I'm tired and I don't want to do it. There's times for sure I don't want to do it. I really don't want to. I just want to sit down and never get up.
Do nothing.
Yeah, but then that's not for the goal.
So on that note, then, in instances where you're lacking motivation, because I know a lot of people that are listening, and these days especially, what I see from people, it's so hard to get somebody started in terms of training, and then it's even harder sometimes to keep them motivated and training over a long period of time. Are there periods where you're lacking in motivation, and if so,
For sure.
how do you fix that?
For sure. Like there's times that I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But it's habit. Habit is what keeps you there, right? So you form a habit. It's not whether I want to do it or not, it's gonna happen. You know,
Yeah.
it's like sometimes I don't want to train. Sometimes I don't want to eat the food. Like I'm like especially like off season. Weirdly for me, I'm not a big guy, but I have to eat a lot of food, and it's insane how much I have to eat. Like for a guy my size, end of off season, typically he gets close to 7,000 calories.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's like even my coach is like,
How do you manage eating?
Exactly, that's the problem. And I don't want to eat that much food. I'm a skinny guy. I don't want to eat that much.
Well, I guess that kind of makes sense. You said you were 57 kilos growing up, so you've probably got a fast metabolism.
Very fast. I'm excellent at dieting. Because someone says like you don't have to eat 7,000 calories. I'm like, amazing.
That's crazy.
Right? But my bottom end calories is 3,200. That's death level. Death level calories for me, like shredded, like 3,200, right? But
a lot of people can't even eat that.
Yeah, but I struggle with the food. I struggle sometimes with the training, with time, finding time. I struggle with fatigue because, like, you know, work a long day and, like, you know, but the habit is there. And people say, oh, discipline. I'm like, no discipline. just do it. Like have a shower. Like, do you need
become
discipline
a
to have
part
a
of your
shower?
day. Yeah.
Do you need discipline to, you know? And I always say to people as well, how come you can have discipline for things you hate, right? They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, do you like your job? And most people hate their job.
Yeah.
But they'll turn up, right? They won't be late. They'll put in the time, then, you know, and they'll stay the whole day and they'll do the thing. They hate it. They hate it. But you can't have discipline for something that's good for you, like
That's very
exercise. You can't have discipline for your nutrition. You got to eat food anyway,
Yeah.
right? Why can't you just put a little bit of effort in? Like, not even much, just a little bit of thought, right?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get it.
I think for most people, it's because they go to work and there's a financial reward. It's tangible. They can see it.
Sure,
With exercise, it's hard work and it takes a long time before somebody can perhaps see the results or feel the
but
results.
that's the problem.
That's the problem. Yeah.
They think it's hard work. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not, because everyone, like, I think this is the problem with, like, the way exercise is perceived. They want to work really, really hard. It's not.
It doesn't have to be.
No, it's like, you know, especially in the more modern training systems. People say, people preach, oh, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode. No, I'm like least mode. Least mode. As little as required to get the job done. Why do more? Why do more? Because you do least mode all the time. Eventually that ends up beast mode anyway, right?
Yeah.
But why would you not grab all the low-hanging fruit?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe you don't need to be a beast mode to get to goal, like your physique goal or your health goal or whatever. Maybe it doesn't even reach there. I have to, because I got to compete against the best in the world, and they're not their foot is always on.
Yeah.
Right? And that's also in the back of my mind a lot of the time. It's like, these guys, it's their full-time job, you know. And I'm
That's
a dentist,
right.
I'm a dad, I'm a husband. I'm so many more commitments than a lot of these other guys. And this is purely their job. This is how they get their income. Their foot is always on, right? So maybe that's sometimes motivation when I don't want to do it. It's probably not, to be honest, because I'll do it anyway. But
I think if there's a theme from today, from the people that I've spoken to, everyone's spoken about consistency.
Yeah.
And so the first guy, he's a CrossFit coach and he owns a few CrossFit gyms. And he was talking about the importance of consistency in training, no matter what you do. And then the psychologist was talking about consistency in parenting.
Yeah.
And then a similar sort of topic has come up now.
Yeah. But also I say, like, I'm lucky I found bodybuilding at the same time as academics when I was young, because it taught me a lot of lessons, like, you know, how to do things when you don't want to do them.
Yeah.
You know, to delay gratification.
Yeah.
You know, the time to reach a goal is long. So, you know, the consistency again, you know, the processes involved to achieve things, and without bodybuilding and that structure also avoided me from like having desire to go to parties with, like, my friends are wanting to go to parties and drink and do things like that. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
If I can't train tomorrow.
It keeps you out of trouble sometimes.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. It gave me structure, a daily structure.
Yeah.
Which I still have. I still have a daily structure, you know, and I think because of that, I think bodybuilding kind of is, whether I'm competing or not, will always be foundational in the way I construct my life, you know.
Yeah, it does help a lot.
Yeah.
So if we pivot a little bit then, as a dentist, because I understand you've got a lot of things going on. So as a dentist, if you were to look in somebody's mouth, can you tell if they've got any health issues or any health problems?
Everything.
Yeah. Can you tell me a bit more about
like even mental health problems.
Oh,
right?
really?
Or even self-value problems, right? The way you look after your mouth is almost like how well you want to look after yourself, right? Because it's very basic, right? These are very basic things to look after your teeth. It's not difficult. Like, you should never need a dentist. You should go for prevention and things like that as a preventative practice, but you should never need, like with good nutrition, right, and good hygiene. Why would you need me? All dental disease is preventable, besides trauma or something like that. You know, like the most common dental diseases are tooth decay and gum disease, right? So tooth decay is nutrition, gum disease is hygiene, right? This is hygiene you can see too. So this is like what you display to people around you, right? It says a lot about yourself and your own value system, because, you know, it makes me question if I look at someone and hygiene is not there, it's like their level of self-care is not there. Their level of self-worth is not there. So what else is going on? Like, are they, a very busy mom that's like stuck, like, like looking after everyone else and then not looking after themselves anymore, you know? Are they, do they have some sort of like mental health issue like depression or anxiety or things like that? Like the anxiety will display in tooth wear. Depression will be like, like lack of attention to themselves and poor hygiene, maybe some tooth decay because they're eating pretty badly. So that's, visually it's like, you can tell a lot about someone. Like even the athletes, I remind the athletes statistically, that because I got a lot of athletes that come see me, statistically you are going to have worse teeth than the average population, right? Because of the nutrition model, right? Have to eat very frequently, especially if coming up to a competition where like, potentially you're eating more, which will require more carbohydrates, potentially more sugar, right? So you have to be aware that that's going to happen. So you can see, I can see an athlete, despite self-care, right?
They're neglecting
that, and then what does that create? Extra inflammation. Is inflammation going to work for you? No, so, and then beyond that, you can see if you look in someone's mouth, if you see a lot of wear, there could be a lot of stress going on, cracked teeth, a lot of high performers like, CEOs, very worn teeth, cracks all everywhere, you can tell their mind, like they're here, but they're not here. They're not here. Yeah. So like you kind of got to remind them to like, like take care of this, not just this, and then like autoimmune diseases will show, a lot of autoimmune diseases will show in the mouth before they'll show in the body, like Crohn's disease, you'll get some cobblestoning of the mucosa.
I didn't know that.
Sjogren's, you'll get like dry mouth. A lot of medications, you can see the impact of medications, so there's a lot of the mouth is a window into your overall health, and then some people will even say, your health starts at your mouth. I'm not sure, like it's controllable. There's bits you can control, but there's stuff you can't control. So I'm not fully for that, but I get the logic.
But it makes a lot of sense.
It does, yeah.
Especially when you can tell so much from somebody's mouth. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also like from that space, it allows me, because I'm a bit more holistic in my treatment style. Like I'm able to like see like a narrow airway. So I'm like, okay, do you snore? Okay, you need to go see this. I always say to people, I'm a dentist. I don't care about your teeth. I'll fix your teeth. No problems. Right? There's a solution. Everything that's here, there's a solution. Right? But why is this a problem? I can't fix that. That's beyond my scope. Right? So you need to contact this person for your sleep apnea. You need to start working on your nutrition. Maybe speak to this person. Maybe you need to, some mental health help. Like why are you here?
See, I like that. That's more a holistic approach, and it's a similar sort of concept. If I compare it to what we do downstairs as practitioners, we can fix the problem they're coming in with, whether it's like a neck issue or a lower back issue. We can fix it to an extent, but getting to the root cause of the problem is always the most important thing for us. And I don't know much about other dentists, but I've seen a few dentists in my life. Not many of them approach it like that.
No, drill and fill and bill them.
That's right. That's all it is.
Because that's the unfortunate thing about being dentists. We get paid for what we do. As a vet, I get paid for my opinion, my examination, for what I say.
What you say sometimes.
I don't have to do anything and I'll get paid. But I don't get paid in dentistry. I don't get paid for the things I say. Right? I only get paid for the things I do. Thankfully, I laugh about this all the time, but it's true. It's a joke, but it's not a joke. I say to people, I am actively trying to get you to not give me money. Right? If you listen to me, right? If everyone I saw listened to me, I'll need to open an OnlyFans account. Right? But thankfully, people don't listen. So I have endless supply of work. Right? I said, if you really think about it, and I do believe like there's a lot of dentists that do do what I do. But
As with any other profession.
yeah, and I say like if everyone actually listened to the dentist, like it'd be a problem for us. No one would even aspire to do this job, right? Because people see like the money, the cars, and blah blah. I'd say thankfully, people don't listen to me.
I think that's human nature. People are just lazy sometimes.
And it's like if you listen to me, we both win. I'm happy with your health. I'm confident you're healthy. We both win, and I still actually make money from that.
Yep.
Right. If you don't listen to me, better.
You make more money.
Right. And I'm like, you want my wife to have another Range Rover? By all means, don't listen to me.
Yeah.
So it's a joke, but it's not a joke.
Yeah.
And I also say, have you ever seen a poor dentist?
And you really haven't, no.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
all dental disease is preventable.
Yep.
We should have poor dentists.
Yeah. Again, I think the same thing applies to our industry as chiropractors or physios or practitioners in general.
Yeah.
All the stuff that we see, most of it anyway, is preventable as well. If somebody just strengthened their own body, done some regular exercise and stretching, and stayed away from doing anything crazy or stupid. And
which is how I end up in physio.
Yeah, that's right.
Doing dumb stuff. I do it for doing dumb stuff. But also, it's like it takes a little bit of self-awareness too. It's like knowing like you do need to take care of these things. It's very hard. It's very hard. I am like empathetic to people because again, like I use the example of the busy mom. Or the guy that's got a lot of expenses and is just like trying to look after his family. But to be able to look after other people, you have to look after yourself first. It's like in the airplane when they say, put the mask on yourself before you help someone else. And
the psyche is the same analogy just before.
You have to look after yourself because two reasons. One, people aren't that grateful. They're not. They're used to it. They're not that thankful. They'll only be thankful when you stop, right? If you dedicate too much time to it, the only reason why you stop is because you're dead. Then they'll miss you.
It takes a long time before you realize that, though.
Yeah. Then they appreciate you're not here. And what's going to drive you faster to a grave, right? Not looking after your health.
Yep. That's a very good point.
And what's the point?
On that topic then of, I guess, self-abuse or not self-awareness, in the world of bodybuilding,
murky.
It's a little bit murky, and whether people like it or not, performance-enhancing drugs come into the picture.
Absolutely, At that level?
At that level,
I would not even say bodybuilding, I would say all sports. At that level, at the professional level, when it's for money, you would be very surprised on what happens. I even use the example again, like you say, Sunday afternoon, let's go for a cycle. It's leisurely, good for our health. Good for social aspects, mental health. Outside, get some sun, nice. Great, fun, enjoyable, good for us, right? Cycling, Tour de France, people die. Right? It's neither fun, right, nor enjoyable. Right? It's pain, straight pain, right? And they have a lot of things that they have to do to be able to do that too, right? And bodybuilding is no different, right? But it's more obvious. It's more obvious, and it's a known tool at the professional level. Unfortunately, that's the bar is set. You cannot escape that. And if you want to compete at that level, you're gonna have to use the tools that everyone else does. But like with all sports, and I kind of wish that people knew that even in sports like tennis, even in sports like golf.
That's right.
What the golfer looked like 30 years ago is not what a golfer looks like now. They're jacked now.
They are.
Tennis players jacked now, right? Find me a sport that's not, right?
It just gives you that edge.
But it's very obvious in the sport, and there's definitely, and it's definitely pushed because it is accepted, and there's no testing. Do whatever you want, right?
For the average person though, looking or listening to this, because we see it more and more these days, there's a lot more awareness about this stuff. It's very accessible as well, which is a bit of a problem. What are some like physical and psychological impacts that it can have on an average person that's trying to go like super physiological sort of levels of.
Yeah.
Is it worth doing it if you're not competing?
Depends on what your goal is, right? If you're not competing, I would say no. To a certain extent. Like, look, the more and more we know about aging, right, there's stuff we can offset, right? Like by optimizing our health through nutrition, through exercise, but also hormonal manipulation. But that's in the physiologic range, right? So once we push outside that, there is a known risk, right? It's not safe, but it can be done safely, right? Not safe, but safer. Like there's a safer use model, right? As long as you're using compounds that evidence based, right? So things like anabolics have been in clinical use now for 100 years, almost 100 years, right? We know what they do and what they don't do, right? There's a track record. We know where the line is. You push beyond that line, you're being a guinea pig. That's you're entering territory that's probably not a good idea. We also, things like growth hormone, like we know what that does, what it doesn't do. However, the dosages that, again, once you push beyond that line, okay, now you're accepting risk, right? Where I find it very difficult now is everyone's very on the peptide train, and
That's huge at the moment.
Yeah, that worries me a bit because we don't have the literature involved yet, right? A lot of this stuff is research based. We don't know. They've only been around a few years. We don't a lot of them show a lot of promise. I'm not going to deny that, and some of them do have evidence, right? So we know that, but also we don't know in the dosages, right? So that's the scary area, but that's part of medicine. That's that's all medicines. We don't know until we know. There's things like thalidomide where they gave that to treat morning sickness. Turns out it gave a lot of birth defects. This is science. This is the new frontier, and I'm sure most of them are safe. But you are experimenting, and when you're pushing to that level, I'm not exactly comfortable with even recommending or seeing people do these things.
This is what I say to people all the time because I see especially young males come in. Some of them are very open about it. Others, it's just very obvious that they're doing some form of like PED. And my advice to them is exactly what you said. What are your goals in doing this in the first place? Are you looking to compete, or is this just for like an aesthetic thing? And then if you are going to take it, go and see a doctor about it, somebody that specializes in this, because you can't just be doing it on your own by yourself.
There's a lot of bad. The problem now is there's too much information. You don't know what's good or bad information. I used to always say, when I was a kid, there was no internet. You had to go to the library. I had to order in journal. I wanted to know something. I had to order in the journal in a hard copy, and it had to get sent to the library in hard copy. I couldn't even take it out of the library because it was sent there from somewhere. So I had to go and photocopy it, and then I would highlight and that's how I got the information. Right. I put in decades of work into this stuff. Right. Into my education in general. Now the problem is the opposite, and the information was generally from a credible source, like a journal, a textbook. It might be old, it might be not cutting edge, but then you would have been a teacher or a lecturer. It's a credible a person with authority that generally acquired that information from the same way. So you almost could trust it. Not quite, but still. There was a good. You could have a degree of faith in that, but now it's like anyone with a iPhone can just say some nonsense and
That's exactly the reason, honestly, why I've started all this, because there's so much crap out there, and like you said, anyone that has a camera or an internet signal can put up a video, and if they talk well and they look good, people take that as truth straight away.
The one thing though I could say in the competitive space though, like there's like the natural bodybuilding versus unnatural. There is some benefits though, like to the enhanced space, because one of the things when you diet to the point of like essentially the guy that wins is almost death level, like, you know, body composition. Like this is not a healthy space to put your body in, right? You know, with that comes with hormone dysregulation, because your body is going to try and defend that at all costs.
Yep.
Right. So with that is drops in natural hormone levels. In women, you know, amenorrhea, like, you know, stopping of your cycle.
Yep.
Thyroid hormone just dives, because your body's like, why am I going to crank out thyroid to maintain metabolism? I need to peel it back so I can maintain a body weight, right? So it's going to defend against you with that. So when you're crashing your hormones to a level that's, I argue that actually natural bodybuilding is more unhealthy than like potential, like because there's natural bodying at the highest level, very unhealthy.
Could be worse
more damaging.
That makes sense when you put it like that.
And permanent damaging for some people too, right? Because once you crash hormones to that level, do they come back? How much damage did you actually cause, right? So if it's done appropriately with like the right level of checking and blood tests and measuring and using a numbers-based approach to things, you can offset this stuff. You know, like say your thyroid is crashing, add a little bit of T4, right? Add a little bit of T3. Now you're back. You know, it's about hormone restoration at that point. You know, you can offset all of these negative processes by the introduction of these things. Would you be able to compete as natural at that point, even though you're in natural hormonal ranges? Right? You're not super physiological, right? But that's banned, right? Because you use something, even though technically
you're within the
range, right? You're not supercharged.
I never thought of it like that.
You know, so like sometimes I think I wish they could redefine like natural bodybuilding as like you can only be natural limit, like natural hormone limit, and then that would make that healthy.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, I could get on board with that. Like, you know, everyone would have to submit a blood test, and if anyone's outside normal range, they're gone.
You're out.
Like that's the piss test. You know, like you'll fail, you'll be ineligible to compete if you. Like this is the line. This is the accepted hormone limit, right?
That makes a lot of sense. I never thought of it that way.
That would make that healthier, and then everything healthier. And I think then that could be unifying both natural and unnatural bodybuilding. And stop the cheating and like, you know, like
that'll solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, stop the cheating. You could have like, you know, you could even have it at the Olympics, you know, like because you can't have bodybuilding Olympics. It's like everyone's doing something.
Do you think it'll ever get to that point? I know they're doing the elite. What do they call it? The
enhanced games.
Enhanced games.
Yeah. I think if you had to test everyone, even in the Olympics, like everyone would fail. If you had to test them properly. Secondarily, why are they testing? Is the testing because of the health of the athlete? Is that no? That's not why they're testing. They're just testing to try and level the playing field, right? I argue like you should probably be testing like, are they eligible to compete based on their health? You know, like if you tested the health of these athletes coming into the Olympics, probably garbage.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, like, you know, so is it for the protection of the athlete? No, it's not. It's not for health, right? Again, I bring up like at the elite level, neither healthy nor safe, nor fun. What's fun is winning.
Yeah.
You know that study? Have you seen that study where they I need to read it again and get the exact. They said if we could give you a drug that guaranteed you a gold medal. All right.
I don't think I would.
Yeah, guaranteed you a gold medal, but you'd be dead in 10 years.
No, I haven't read this.
Would you take it? All right. 80% of athletes said yes.
Oh, you're kidding.
Knowing that, like, if they took this, they would die in 10 years.
Yeah, right.
That's how focused some people are on the goal. Remember I said goal. Goal is the problem. Yeah. Not the process. Right? They're willing to die for a gold medal if it assured them a gold medal.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's not about health.
Yeah.
Sports is not about health.
Well, Ash, when all of this is said and done, I know you've achieved a lot in your life already, but what's the version that you're working towards? What's something that you'd like, for example, your kids to remember you as? Yeah, like, it's hard for me to say because I don't really know. I don't know what that answer is because I don't know where the life's going. Like, you see, if I predicted that this is where my life would be a long time ago, I wouldn't have said. I wouldn't have even imagined it.
I just try and do a little bit better each time, whatever the pursuit is, and if it ends up at something good. But what I'm trying to do is more intangible things now, like, because like obviously, like I like that my kids can see consistency, but people call it discipline. It's not. I say it's not discipline, but just that consistency, that the work ethic. I would like them to remember me as that, but that comes at a cost too, right? And like, so the goal I'm really working towards, and obviously because I'm older now, so all this stuff, the pursuit of these things has to come to an end. Like, you can't be defined by the things you do, right? At some point I have to retire as a dentist, as a vet, and I have to retire. The end of bodybuilding will be soon, right? Because I'm 41 now. Like, it's got it. I'm injured now. Even the dream of Olympia, I don't know. I don't know if that's achievable anymore, because I have to restore this back. Am I out? Am I out? It's unknown. Like, and that's hard to know that when you're at the top, right? That may not happen. And you hear that story all the time, like the elite blah blah tears something or injury, and then there never a lot of promise but never was. Am I that guy now? Maybe. I have to be okay with that. So the things that I'm probably working towards now is I hate this word, work-life balance. I hate it because there is none. There's no such thing. But like taking more time to those intangible things, those moments, trying to be more present in my life, because you can be a little bit robotic when you're trying to do these things. You turn up at work, you eat the food, do the training, tick the box, endlessly tick box. Right? It can be a bit robotic, and I'm okay with that. But what kind of life is that? Is that the way you want to be remembered? I don't know. So, trying to like be the dad that I didn't have, so, my dad never went to a single event of mine. All the sporting things. Working. Yeah, for good reason, because like he didn't know any better. I can't blame him. Can't blame him, because he grew up extremely poor. He doesn't know anything but to fight for survival. Even to this day, he thinks he has to fight for his survival.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. So, I can't, it would have been nice to have parents that were there to witness the cool things that you do, right? That's probably why when it comes down to it, I'm probably emotionally scarred by this. Because I didn't have parents. I'm like, hey, look at me. That's probably the only people I'm trying to impress, even to this day. But yeah, I don't want that for my kids. Right? So I try and, where it's possible, I go to the things, I go to the sporting things. I try and be at the school assemblies, I'd like to probably become a better businessman so I could step away from my business. Because I'm a good worker. Like I do well because I'm good with my output. But somehow to achieve the things I want to, I'm gonna have to learn new things. So I'm gonna have to learn to be a better businessman so I can slowly step back from those things, and eventually, again, retirement is a thing, and you don't want to get to retirement and say you missed out on all of these things in the pursuit of what, because no one will remember you for that. So one day, hopefully.
Well, I don't know. You've done a lot already, and I think a lot of people that will listen to this are probably going to look at this and find it very inspiring, because even when I was telling other people before you come on what you do and what you've done already, they didn't believe me. So I think a lot of people will look at this and find it very inspiring. And we're getting older, our priorities are changing. And I think,
because one day it will just be you and your wife. And
that's right.
There'll be no kids around, and
that's right.
You have to be okay. Like with all, like you can't be in the pursuit of things. Whether it's sensible or not, because sometimes they're not. Like if they were sensible, you wouldn't why have a goal anyway? Because generally things are not sensible.
That's right.
You got to push yourself back.
I agree. Thanks, Ash. Thanks for your time, mate.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.